What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Sawman here, back with our video, and today we are going to be doing my top 10 defenses in the NFL. I'm so excited for this video, guys. This is probably the most research I've put into a video. I went through a bunch of stuff like additions, losses, I went through stats, and I am really excited to see this list fold, and I'm excited for you guys to see this list. I put a lot of effort into it, and I really do appreciate when y'all click on the videos. It means a lot to me. Make sure to subscribe, guys. Y'all have been killing it recently. There's no other way to say it. Y'all have been absolutely killing it. I'm so grateful for that. I'm just hoping you guys can help me hit 410 subscribers soon. It really would mean a lot to me. Also, make sure to like the video for growth, and make sure to comment any recommendations down below, and comment your guys' list down below as always. And we're not going to waste any more time. Let's get straight into it. Coming in at number 10, we have the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions defense is very interesting to me because, a couple years ago, it was regarded as one of the worst defenses in all football. And then now it's becoming one of the better defenses in all football. I think that really started with drafting Aiden Hutchinson. He's been such a good playmaker for them. He puts pressure on the quarterback like no one else. He's back there every play, and he has a very high motor. Everyone in Detroit loves him, and there's no reason not to. He's a great playmaker, and he also opens it up for Allen McNeil, who is a very good defender for them also. They also did add DJ Reader, and they also have Marcus Davenport out there. But definitely the secondary is the worst part of this defense, and they went out and addressed that this offseason. They added Teron Arnold, Carlton Davis, and Ennis Rackstraw Jr. Very good players to add to this defense and help fix their problems. And their defense is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. And it's going to be very interesting to see what they can do this year in Detroit. At this number 9 spot, we have the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears defense from weeks 10 to 18 was just absolutely elite. They held opponents to a 70 quarterback rating with 11 touchdowns and 16 interceptions passing and 6.5 yards per attempt. And on the ground, they held opponents to 93 rushing yards per game with only 4 rushing touchdowns. Their defense was very good in that stretch. And that's what really kept Matt Eberflus's job. His defense in those games, and their defense is really good, okay? They have some playmakers on there like Jalen Johnson, man, who just absolutely stands out. They have Sweat, just an absolute dog. I really like Tyreek Stevenson. I think that he is going to be a great cornerback for them. They have some very good key pieces, and I'm excited to see how this defense grows in this big year for them. They also added veteran Kevin Byard, who is a great safety, and it's going to really help this young group grow, having veteran presence around, and it's going to be an exciting year in Chicago. I think that they have a chance to be a dark horse playoff candidate, in my opinion. Coming in at number 8, we have the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans defense in DeMeco Ryans' first year held opponents to 90 rushing yards per game with a 3.3 average yards per carry and 30% third down success rate after week 5. Now they have Will Anderson Jr. in his second year, the reigning defensive rookie of the year, and they added Danielle Hunter, man. That's a very good addition for them. That's going to help this defense grow, and that's going to help Anderson Jr.'s game grow, because now who are you going to double, man? You can't double both of them. That's just going to help each other. It's going to be like a yin-yang thing. They're going to complement each other's games so well that's really going to help Houston's pass rush. Houston also has Derek Stingley Jr., who I think is a very, very, very slept-on corner. Definitely high on him coming out of LSU. And overall, I think that DeMeco's system is just going to get better and better. Last year was only their first year, and they definitely are going to help take pressure off that Houston Texans offense. Coming in at number 7, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. As hard as it is to say, back-to-back Super Bowl champions, they are not ranked in the top 5 because they lost L'Jarius Sneed. Their defense is very good, but losing a player like that has to hurt your defense a little, man. Losing a player like that, it's hard to replace a guy like that, even though you're going to comment. I guarantee you someone's going to comment, Trent McDuffie. I understand they have Trent McDuffie. Very elite cornerback, one of the best in all football. But still, when you lose a guy like that, another elite cornerback, it still hurts your team. And at the end of the day, you can't really do much about it. It happens. It's football money. But still, that sucks to lose a guy like that. But they do have one of the best defensive lines in all football. They're led by the best defensive tackle in all football. I can say that now that Aaron Jones retired, and Chris Jones. And they also have George Kalafis, who I'm very high on as a player. Their linebackers are very good, and they have one of the best defensive coordinators in all football. So that's why we have the Chiefs at this number 7 spot. Coming in at this number 6 spot, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. They are led by 2 of the best players of the position in TJ Watt and Mika Fitzpatrick. TJ Watt's a perennial defensive player of the year. candidate. He comes in every year, and he's a guy that's going to get you 15 plus sacks. He's an absolute unbelievable player, man. And then we have Mika Fitzpatrick, who is year in, year out one of the best, consistently best safeties in all football. As much as it hurts to say as a Dolphins fan, he's great. And then you also have, key support players in Alex Highsmith, Cam Hayward. They just added Patrick Queen, man. They they are constantly adding players on defense. They have Joey Porter Jr. It's a very exciting team, very exciting defense. They play in one of the hardest divisions in all football, going against guys like Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, um, as you guys know, of course. But their defense is tested week in and week out, and they deliver, man. They keep the Steelers in so many ball games, and their offense can give them a little support, a little time off the field, keep them well rested, keep their spirits up, man. They will be fine, and I have no doubt the Steelers defense will absolutely dominate a couple games this year. At this number 5 spot, we have the Dallas Cowboys, man. The Dallas Cowboys, they lost Dan Quinn to the Washington Commanders, which is funny because they are in the same division. But they have Mike Zimmer take over that defense, and he gets, arguably the best defensive player in all football, Micah Parsons. And, on the other side of Micah Parsons, we also have DeMarcus Lawrence, who's another very good pass rusher. The Dallas Cowboys also has Trayvon Diggs, man. Trayvon Diggs, he's an interesting player. There's a ton of opinions on him because a lot of people say he gets burned and he gets lucky interceptions, but he's a solid cornerback. They also have Bland, and in the middle, they do have Eric Kendricks. The Dallas Cowboys are a very interesting team every single year. They always are one of the most hated teams in all football. Well warranted, but the public perception on them never changes. They're very strongly disliked, but their defense is very good, and you have to admit that. Their defense is locked down. Their whole team is usually pretty good, but it's going to be interesting to see how Micah Parsons does this year because he has not won Defensive Player of the Year yet, and I think that this year it could happen. I really think that it could happen for the Dallas Cowboys and Micah, and I'm really excited to see this team this year. Coming in at this number 4 spot, we have the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns had one of the best defenses in all football for a few months. They held opponents to 55% completion percentage and a 73.2 quarterback rating with 34 sacks and a 10-9 touchdown to interception ratio in the first 12 weeks. Then Myles Garrett got hurt, and that definitely killed their defense because when you lose a player like that, of that caliber, that's going to hurt, obviously. And it definitely did, and you could have seen that towards the end of the season. They suffered a lot of injuries, which definitely killed their team. They lost 2 key players in Anthony Walker Jr. and Sion Takitaki, but they did add Devin Bush, so it's going to be very interesting to see for this Cleveland Browns defense. They have some very good players. I just read on Twitter that Denzel Ward did suffer a concussion, though, so it's going to be very interesting to see how he does, if he retires or what happens, because this is his 5th concussion in a while, since I think 2017, which is kind of crazy. 5 concussions at that time span is not good. I hope he gets better. But overall, it's going to be very interesting to see what the Cleveland Browns can do this year and see if their defense can improve on last year, where they were one of the best units in all football. Coming in at this number 3 spot, we have the San Francisco 49ers, baby. The 49ers, y'all are probably going to say, damn, they're rated at 3. That's insane. That's insane. Your list sucks. The 49ers, they lost 2 key players, man. They lost Armstead and they lost Chase Young, which those are 2 big losses for them. I don't care what you say. They did acquire Leonard Floyd, though, who's looking to fill that void, and he probably will because Leonard Floyd is a very talented pass rusher, and I think he can get the job done, especially in that system. The 49ers still have one of the best middle linebackers in all football in Fred Warner. Absolute dog, man. They have Greenlaw, too. Those guys are so good at football, man. Those guys can play. And they also have Nick Bosa, man, one of the best defensive ends in all football. Absolute demon, man. He's always on a tear, and he makes quarterbacks' lives hell, man. He gets back there. It's an insane. He's an insane player, man. But the 49ers, they may have lost some talented players, but I'm sure they're going to reload and be as good as ever. But these other 2 teams in front of them, I just think they have better defenses overall. Coming in at this number 2 spot, we have the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens had an absolutely phenomenal year last year. Their defense looked like the best defense in all football at times, which they certainly were. They were a very great defense, and they still are. They did lose their defensive coordinator, though, Mike McDonald. He went to the Seattle Seahawks. The team actually shown in this highlight right here. That's funny. But, man, they lost him, and they lost Patrick Queen, unfortunately, to the Pittsburgh Steelers, too. That kind of hurts. but they still have key pieces in Roquan Smith and Kyle Hamilton. You know, they also have more players than that, but those are the two big dogs on that team. Those guys are the leaders, and they're absolutely phenomenal. Easily top 5 at each of their positions, man. They're very good, and they lead this defense. The Ravens' defense is very physical, and they dominate games, man. They absolutely shut down teams, and I think they will do that again this year. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do this year and prove that they are the best defense in all football. Coming in at this number 1 spot, as much as it pains me to say, as a Miami Dolphins fan, this hurts to come out of my mouth. I am almost throwing up saying this, but we have the New York Jets, man. I know. The New York Jets, them in number 1 is not a very common thing, but they do have a very stacked defense, man. They have Sauce Gardner, C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams, Quinnen Williams, Hassan Reddick if he ever wants to play football again. Those guys are absolutely insane. They have a very good front 7, great secondary back there, man. They are an absolutely loaded defense. They have it all, man. They are really good, and they are dominant, man. They lost Bruce Huff, whatever his name is, but besides that, they didn't really lose much this offseason. They gained definitely a little more. But this defense definitely kept them in a lot of games last year. If it wasn't for their defense, they probably would have not won a game last year because their offense was putrid, very bad, disgusting to watch, throw up bad. They were awful. But, you know, when you have a defense like that, it keeps you in games and gives you chances. But, you know, it'll be interesting to see this year what they can do with an actual decent offense with Aaron Rodgers at helm, to see if he can give them proper rest and see what they can do when they're not out there on the field every 2 minutes. That's what I got for the New York Jets, man. And if you guys enjoyed the video, I really want you guys to sub, man. We are so close to 410, and I really would appreciate it. I work hard for these videos, put a lot of effort into them, so I really would appreciate it if you guys could help me out. Make sure to like the video, make sure to comment any recommendations down below. And besides that, guys, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.